Ladies and gentlemen, imagine if this was taking place when Trump was in office. First of all, thank you to my super chat, Paul Bartlett. Thank you so very much, Paul. To my viewers in Australia, God bless you. And oh my God, what is happening? Give me your thoughts as to what's going on right now in your beautiful, beautiful country. In the comment section or in the live chat. But Paul Bartlett, thank you always for your support, and thank you so very much for your generous super chat. Thank you so very much. To my super chat, thank you. Eric and Luke, two best moderators in all of YouTube. Paul, thank you so very much as always. What would happen if President Trump, hello Ali, hello everybody. What would happen if President Trump was in office right now? It would be wall-to-wall coverage blaming Trump entirely. It is 100%, by the way, Biden's fault. Trump and everyone who negotiated, it wasn't just the U.S. See, the deal to negotiate a withdrawal was a very good deal. It gave us time to bring home everyone from embassy officials to interpreters to perhaps finding a way to bring home our armament that we left there for the wonderful adversaries. I say that obviously facetiously. They're not wonderful at all, but these adversaries defeated the Russians, the Soviets before us, Vietnam, the French lost in Vietnam. We didn't learn from history. People like Bill Kristol and the Lincoln Project people and the morally superior liberals who have devoted their lives to taking down Trump don't learn from history. The Soviets had their Vietnam in Afghanistan. Okay? The Soviets had their Vietnam in Afghanistan. We had Vietnam after the French. Hal, hello. Luke St. Martin, Eric H526, hello. Louis, hello. Kristen J, hello. And so, we don't learn from history. We know that a counterinsurgency conflict is impossible to win. There has never been a successful counterinsurgency conflict. You cannot go into another land and stay there for 10, 15, 20 years and expect a society that's been there for thousands of years to suddenly care about what Republicans or Democrats think. And that's not to... we always must differentiate between the bravery and the sacrifice and the courage of men and women who fought in Iraq and Afghanistan, American soldiers and their families. God bless you. You're a veteran, Desert Storm, Vietnam, any war. God bless you. Thank you for everything you've done to keep us safe. And you look, you could look at Napoleon. You could look at throughout history. There's never been a military commander who's been able... Chris, hello, in Thailand. Hello, Chris. There's never been a military or a commander that has been successful in a counterinsurgency conflict. Not one example. It is not possible. There are too many variables that have nothing to do with military might. So, if you knew you were going to leave, why did you not abide by Trump's negotiated deal? Oh, because you wanted to spite Trump, because you despise and you have such contempt for Trump. You're such narcissists. You have such ego. You're so arrogant that you wanted to just say, well, we were going to leave and Trump, you negotiated the deal in February of 2020. And, you said May 2020, May 1st, 2021. And you know what we say? we say we don't like May 1st, even though everyone, including our adversaries, agreed to that timeline. Demonically possessed mashed potato brains. Come on, man. Come on, man. You know, is he? I'm joking, not joking. I'm joking, not joking. Joking, of course. Come on. I don't believe in that stuff. You think he's like, there's something going on, like, he's like, come on, man. You think that there's something going on? This is working just as planned. It's working as planned. What's going on with Biden? Is that his real voice? Hey, come on, man. It's just there's no difference between and the NVA. You wouldn't know the difference anyway. Oh my God, we're being led by a demonically possessed mashed potato brain. Oh my God. Could you imagine? I mean, Superman 800, hello. Could you imagine? This man is so inept and incompetent. Why did he just spite Trump? He could have simply said, okay, we're going to leave, but you know what? It's really, I'm going to take credit for it. It's a May 1st negotiated deal. I'll take credit for it. Starting, January 20th, we will evacuate our embassy. We'll make sure that everyone, all the interpreters and their families, and everyone who's worked at the bases, and everyone who's helped us for 20 years can get out. We don't have to have people jumping on planes and falling off from the sky to their doom. God bless these poor people. We have billions in weaponry. We have the Afghan army who knows how they're going to react. We're going to maybe explain to them, or I don't know. Training is out of the question because that's happened 20 years. But, we're going to conduct some kind of, exercise where they'll understand that they might have to, Allie Wolf, hello. I just saw your message here. And so, Indy, hello. And so, maybe Biden can just do everything possible to just mitigate a potential disaster, because when we left, we can't stay there forever. And, Biden voted for us to get there. So instead, what do we have? Oh, sure, yeah, it's just like the North Vietnamese army. Yeah, come on, man. Come on, man. It's so different. You'll see. Yeah, everything's under control, man. Come on, man. You know the deal, man. Oh, he's demonically possessed. He's not just inept. There's an evil spirit inside him. Fantastic. We're being run by a demonically possessed, inept, completely incompetent mashed potato brain. Fantastic. At least he doesn't tweet. It's like the end. There used to be these memes like butthurt emails. It's like the end of the world. That was kind of funny. And it would be like the end of the world. We'll be bartering like a Lamborghini for toilet paper. And then the thing was, at least he doesn't tweet. At least he's not offensive. It's like, well, I kind of liked living. Then with everything else, the experts, hey, you have to do this, and if you do this, everything will be fine. Oh, everything's changed. You got to do this, this, and that. Yeah. If you don't do this, it's affecting me personally, man. Especially me personally. You've been wrong on everything. You can add Afghan debacle, catastrophe, human catastrophe. You're wrong on everything. Everything. They're wrong on everything. Oh, I don't know. I don't know if it's MAGA tears. I think it's world tears. I think it's tears of everyone on the planet. My God. What an incompetent. Oh, my God. Kingdonomics. Coffee fridge. Kingdonomics. Thank you so very much. To my New Zealand crew, thank you. Kingdonomics. Thank you so very much. We have, Trump is 1,000,000 times better. 1,000,000 times better. With Trump, we didn't have any of this. We had, he was pressuring Zelensky. Yeah, well, you have the fall of Kabul, inflation, crime. What kind of dystopian nightmare hellscape do you want? You got what you wanted. The most popular man. The most popular president ever. Do you believe that? You got everything you wanted, morally superior liberals. Everything. Everything you've ever wanted. Kingdonomics, thank you. Paul Bartlett, thank you. Of all time. How could you not have simply abided by a negotiated deal to get out? How hard was it to do? We know that you just simply didn't you wanted to spite Trump. This is the life. What? Breathing? Trump said breathe? No. I'm holding my breath. Trump said breathing. Breathing is bad because Trump said it. What is going on with this? But all they had to do was we had an opportunity to leave an apartment. If someone told you to leave an apartment, you have 5, 6, 7 months, 8 months to leave an apartment. Okay. If you have if you have 5 to 7 months, you'll get your things in order. And President Trump is right. The man needs to resign. He's been an absolute unmitigated catastrophe in every way, shape, and form, from the economy to foreign policy, to domestic policy. Nobody trusts government at all, even though you have everything, even CNN. He even lost CNN, my God, he even lost CNN. How do you lose CNN? There was even CNN was like, well, we have an expert who disagrees with Biden. I mean, honestly, we're trying our best. My God almighty, we're trying our best. But if you have 7 months, 8 months to leave, to move and go to another state, you can, get your affairs in order. If you have a half a day to pack up everything and move to Arkansas or Montana, so you can, you have to move, okay? There's a difference there. We had a year and 3 months, 4 months. One rebuttal is, Kathy, thank you. One rebuttal is, oh, well, we should have had a we should have had a second term. We should have had, one rebuttal is, we should have had a presence there, 3,000 Americans there. Why? First of all, the North Vietnamese army was funded by the Soviet Union. Okay? They were given armament and weaponry by the Soviet Union. Okay? We inadvertently gave them the entire Afghan army's arsenal and all the weaponry we left because Biden said, "Hey, come on, man. Yeah, you know the deal, man. I'm an empathetic man. Yeah, come on. Smells like eucalyptus. Yes. Strawberry Supreme. Is that the shampoo? Oh, come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. And 1958 vintage. Thank you. 1958 vintage. Thank you. Thank you so very much. Nice. 1958 vintage one. Thank you so very, very much. Thank you so very, very much. Some beautiful 1958 Cadillac Chevrolet Impala. Looking at the 1958 classic cars here. 1958 vintage one. Thank you so very much. Greatly, greatly appreciated. Thank you so very much. Thank you. Deflating atheism. Thank you. That is a compliment. Thank you. And so you had time to bring home people. Now you have these poor people, these poor souls. Could you imagine? Trying to get out with your family because you helped the Americans for 20 years or 10 years or 1 year because, you were just trying to feed your family a better life. And could you imagine the devastation? Like, the adversaries that are taking control now are not known for empathy and compassion. Okay? They're known for a lot of other things. And, our country has become Hunter Biden's life. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Look at Ivanka Trump. Look at how happy Trump's kids are. And look at the dysfunctional mess Biden's son is. Look at our country now. The apple does not fall far from the tree. Our entire country is now selling paintings because we were, hooked on narcotics our whole lives. That's what we've become. And, you have a situation, ladies and gentlemen, where it didn't have to be this way. We know now. We know that be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you wish for in life. They didn't like Trump's tweets. 1958 vintage. Thank you so very much. Yeah, okay. I'm going to say this very politely for the people who don't understand. Everybody here. There are certain people who are wonderful, wonderful, beautiful Biden supporters, and God bless them. I wish them only the best. They should take a vacation to a very nice place called Kabul. It's fantastic nowadays, thanks to Biden. Okay, the deal here. For everyone who happens to watch this live stream, please, God bless you, and pay attention. The deal was not the problem. Leaving was not the problem. I'm going to say this so even Biden will understand, which is, definite feat. The problem was not the deal. The deal was a good negotiated deal. The problem was not leaving. We can't stay there for 200 years just because Biden made a colossal mistake 20 years ago siding with Bush. The problem, the reason it collapsed, now listen, is because we did not abide by the timeline. The timeline was May 1st, 2021. He had from January, February, March, April, May. We had February, March, April. Instead of talking about this and that and things that have nothing to do with national security, instead of his executive orders that had nothing to do with national security, simply spiting Trump, he could have said, okay, everyone who needs to get to the U.S., sign your name here. Let's evacuate you starting January 20th, February, March, April. May 1st is when we negotiated to leave. This is not difficult. Every interpreter, the families, the people who worked at bases, American diplomats, the embassy, our armament, we could have simply had a withdrawal that worked if you just followed what Trump negotiated. Yes, the deal should be celebrated. If the Republicans took it off their website, that's because the Republicans have been investigating Trump. Trump is not really a Republican. He did the Republicans a favor with so many things, from tax cuts to Supreme Court judges, 3 to hundreds of federal judges. Without him, there is no Republican Party. He completely changed the Republican from a stodgy, neoconservative, interventionist party. Georgia, Virginia. All I know is that our allies around the world are thinking twice now. Yeah. Well, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if mashed potato brains there's something going on. George, thank you. I agree with you. Indy Wood. BRB, thank you. Thank you, Indy. Thank you so very much. Indy and George, thank you. The issue was bringing home people. George and Indy in 1958, vintage one. The issue was bringing home people in a manner where you didn't have to do things last second. They didn't want to give Trump the victory, so they said, first. Sorry, the live stream is running as smoothly as our beloved president's brain. So, can you hear me now? Kevin! Thank you so very much, Kevin. Landaverde, thank you so much, Kevin. Greatly appreciated. Thank you. And Kevin Landaverde, thank you so very much. Morgan Weaver, thank you. Sorry about that, everybody. No clue what happened, but the whole point is not like everything is like such a, like, people have such a vapid, like, cursory understanding of, well, yeah, it was a negotiated deal. It was under Trump, The deal was under Trump, It was under Trump. Yeah, it was under Trump. Yeah, had we abided by it, everything would be different. Had we abided by the deal, everything would be different. George, thank you again. Indy, thank you again. The issue is that, Mikhail, hello. The issue is that, oh my God, they didn't abide by the deal. And yes, it would have Absolutely. If you don't abide by a negotiated deal to leave, then your adversaries there say, we're going to do things on our timeline. Even if nobody is saying, I am not saying, nobody is saying the country wouldn't have fallen. Of course the country would have fallen. The country would have fallen quickly at any point within the last 20 years had we left. Had we left a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 10 years, 19 years, it would have fallen, yes. The issue is getting everyone out safely, which Biden did not do because he wanted to spite Trump. He can't. Okay, morally superior liberal Democrats, if Trump tells them to breathe, they're doing the opposite. If Trump tells them, don't walk over the cliff, don't do it. That cliff is the worst cliff ever. They're saying, let's jump over the cliff. Trump said, don't do it. We're going to do it. Trump said, don't. Trump said, don't do it. What does that even mean? Trump said, don't do it, and they did it anyway. Or Trump said, go ahead and leave at a certain time period to make sure everyone gets home safe. And the Lincoln Project people, Bill Kristol, Rick Wilson, all of these people who Democrats think, like, is there anyone in the Republican Party? Is there any conservative? Is there any swing voter that cares what any of these people say? Because Democrats keep retweeting them. They opposed gay marriage. They opposed marriage equality. They wanted a marriage amendment. These are all the Bush, Cheney, and Rumsfeld people who should have been canceled a long time ago. They have these publications, and it's like nobody takes them seriously. They've been horribly wrong on the most devastating failures in world history. And still, Democrats say, oh yeah, the Lincoln Project doesn't like Trump. Did you see the burn? Did you see, how they got Trump? Nobody who votes for Trump, or even thinks of voting for Trump, cares at all. It's a way for liberal Democrats to feel good about themselves by retweeting some people who used to be Bush Republicans that Trump kicked out. Trump put his boot far up the you-know-what of all of these Bush-era Republicans and kicked them out of the political scene. They are now embedded within the Democratic Party along with Bernie Sanders because Democrats stand for nothing anyway. You know, it's like, oh, I miss when, Bush and President Obama, they were friends. Yeah, well, they're two sides of the same coin. They're the same types of people. They're a Washington, D.C. establishment. Trump was, he shouldn't have said certain things. It's true. But don't you miss the tweets now? At least we had a record low unemployment. Now we have an economy in the tank. On every, tell me how we're better now than without Trump. Same things going on. Global health crisis, it hasn't gotten better. Same hysteria, same panic, same paranoia. Although now we have the experts in charge, even though the same experts were saying the same things under Trump. And every time Trump said, well, what about this treatment? No. Studies show, experts say, no, don't trust Trump. He said, use Drano. No, he didn't. He never said any of the things he said. He never said any of the things that they claim he said. They were completely hysterical and apoplectic every single day. They were sore losers, and they made everyone pay. And now you have what you wished for. demonically possessed mashed potato brain. He's actually, he must be trying to do things wrong. He must be. Come on, man, inflation, inflation's gonna be worse tomorrow, man. Come on now, crime, we're fixing the crime. Come on, crime. You haven't seen any crime yet, man. Come on, not May, no, September. So I promise you, you'll see what happens. Tell me what he's done, and maybe like one or two good things. And the reason he did those things was because of Trump anyway. We had record low unemployment under Trump. No, he didn't. We had record, when people say we had record high unemployment, it was Democrats who were like, we can't open up now. Sorry, it's to benefit people. No, it's an election year. You wanted to tank the economy. And by the way, those states and cities that had the most draconian policies shut down society, they had the greatest spikes. And I shouldn't laugh, but, sorry. That's not something to laugh about, so I apologize. Should never have, that's not being facetious there. Nothing you did worked, and still nothing. And God bless the people of Australia. I don't know what's going on in Australia. If you could tell me what's going on, I don't know what's happening. And it's like you have every single advantage, and you even lost CNN. When you lose CNN as a Democrat, you have, Eric, thank you. You have exactly inflation. When you lose CNN as a Democrat, you're pretty much done. Ring in, constitutional hello. You're pretty much done. When you lose CNN, it's like Grand Fish, hello. When you lose CNN, you're pretty much like, nobody is looking at this man. Nobody now is saying, they're not even saying at least we don't have Trump. They're saying that they're in shock. The left is in complete, like, deer in a headlight, like, complete shock. They don't know what's going on. First it was, listen to us. If you don't listen to us, you better listen to us. You're sowing distrust. This is missing context. You want to know one of the dumbest, most irresponsible thing to take place in the last couple years? Ring in Constitutional, live with AJ. Thank you so very much, Ring in. I hope all is well. 1958 Vintage One, thank you so very much. Ring in Constitutional. Thank you. Thank you. Search, destroy, thank you. Bruce Lee poster, you win. Yes, I love Bruce Lee. Love Bruce Lee. I love Jackie Chan, Jet Li, but Bruce Lee is the best. Love Bruce Lee. Thank you. Search and destroy, thank you. Ring in Constitutional, thank you. You want to know one of the most irresponsible, petulant things that we've seen in the past couple of years? Fact check. This is missing context. No, it's not. No, it's not at all. Do you want to know why nothing that Trump says or that DeSantis says or that anyone you disagree with says is missing context? Because it's the context they wanted to convey. It's called communicating a viewpoint. You are going to communicate and tell people you're going to communicate the context of whatever argument that you present, or you're going to present the argument within a certain context deliberately. And the rebuttal will come from a different viewpoint that will have its own context. And then guess what? You want to know what, fact checkers? You want to know what, apoplectic journalists? Do you want to know what? Then another rebuttal will be issued, and that's called a discussion and a debate and dialogue. All different contexts. Want to know why? Because different viewpoints have different context. Because they're coming from a different vantage point. So when you say it's missing context, it's missing the context that you claim to be important. That's why you disagree. And guess what? There's a rebuttal for your disagreement. You can say it's fact check, end of story, fact check, no other facts. It's a fact check. We rate this 4.5 Pinocchios. We rate this missing context. You can rate anything you like. It's not a fact check. You've issued a different opinion or rebuttal, and that's it. And guess what? After your fact check, people will disregard your fact check because they won't care. Because they will know that you are not checking facts. They will know you are furthering an argument and trying to just have the last word and claiming it's a fact check. You're missing context. No, actually, it's not the context at all. It's not missing any context. Biden is 100% at fault. And that is a fact. Well, that's missing context. And this, that, this. Okay, and then now we're going to have a discussion, and I will tell you why you're wrong. And I'll come from a different vantage point, different viewpoint, different paradigm of thought, and I'll add a whole new context to the equation here. And now you can either try to defend what you've said. It's called debate. It's called ideas and logic and reason and argument and argumentation and discussion, dialogue, everything, ideas and thoughts. These are abhorrent to Democrats. You can't, no. You're showing distrust. Yeah, we don't trust you. We don't trust you. He's showing distrust. They're showing distrust in our institutions. Yeah, nobody trusts them. They're horrible. They're run by the Keystone Cops of failure. They're the worst. Yeah, they don't know anything. This is the fabric of our democracy. No, it's not. The fabric of our democracy is to not trust you. The less we trust you, the better the better off we're all, going to be. Ideas are repugnant to Democrats. They loathe ideas because it's not difficult to find an idea better than their idea. It's not difficult to find a viewpoint that's better than their own viewpoint. This is the problem with, and then they say, experts say. I don't care what experts say. The experts are the people that you ask who agree with you. You want to know how many experts agree with Trump? A whole lot. They might lose their jobs in academia or anywhere else, but they agree. The only thing Democrats have is the ability to impose economic repercussions to bolster their ideas. That's it. That's why they cancel people. They don't cancel themselves, but they cancel others. That'll end soon enough when they lose political influence. You have... Thank you, Grungy. Thank you. Love the Big Lebowski. You have a situation, ladies and gentlemen, in our world today. You have a situation where ideas are a big problem. Ideas are a big problem to media and Democrats because they're so desperate to control the narrative. They're so desperate to stifle any debate and discussion. And they're so desperate to do so because they know that if there's any type of valid, open dialogue, none of their ideas win. None of their, very few, nobody disagrees with the core principles that, bad things are bad. Everyone agrees with that. Democrats pretend to stand for these ideals that actually Republicans and conservatives and independents and, Green Party people, we all agree with this. Then they're like, well, we should be talking about this also. We've been talking about that for a long time. Tell me a moment in U.S. history that we haven't spoken about for 30 years. Every part of U.S. history is spoken about in classrooms throughout the country for 30 years. So they hide behind these ridiculous arguments because they really can't defend their overall intent. The motivation for most of what Democrats stand for is, oh my God, we're losing political influence. What can we talk about next? What can we utilize to promote enough emotion to get people on our side? And that's working out only because Republicans don't back Trump. And they haven't backed Trump. Yes, I am drinking orange juice and lemonade. But if you cannot back up your vantage point without imposing some kind of consequence, oh Lord, if you can't communicate, they have all of late night, they have every social media algorithm, they have every single possible advantage, and their ideas cannot win. Their ideas don't resonate because they don't really have any specific ideas. They're not really there's not a, the only thing they run on is contempt for Trump. That's it. That's the only thing they run on. They can't stand Trump. That gives them spiritual meaning in life. Excuse me. And that's how they roll. They can't possibly look at any policy achievement. Give me a policy achievement. I want to know, how is this country better off? How is this country better off now with Biden? So yeah, they would be asking for Trump's resignation right now, and Trump should demand Biden's resignation. Republicans, if they had any backbone, you're getting Republicans here and there saying that Biden should resign. But, it didn't have to. None of this had to happen. If they had just abided by the negotiated deal, it would have had time. They would have had time to get as many people out as possible to leave in an orderly manner. They would have had the time to do so. Oh my God. Sorry about the stream, ladies and gentlemen. Can you hear me, ladies and gentlemen? Can you hear me? Let's see. Is this... All right, good. You look, and it's like there's no way to spin this now. There's no way to actually, like, usually if there's a problem, if it's Hunter, if it's inflation, inflation's good, yeah. Usually if it's some kind of debacle, media will back up Biden somehow. They'll prop him up somehow because they're all in the tank for Democrats, from everybody from Jimmy Kimmel to Trevor Noah to James Corden to Seth Meyer to Jimmy Fallon to Stephen Colbert to Saturday Night Live to every social media algorithms, Twitter, Facebook, like MSNBC, CNN, the Washington Post, the New York Times. But they can't do it because they have some, like a sliver of integrity. This is CNN. Oh my God, it's hilarious. So now they're back to it. Inside Biden's defiant Afghanistan response. Like, defiant? Okay. His speech was horrible. The speech was like, yeah, everything's going to be fine, and it was fine. Some people actually, we couldn't leave early because some people didn't want to leave early. So what are you going to do? Yeah, okay, whatever you say. No one trusts you anyway. No one trusts you at all. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you very much. There's nothing else to say other than, I've said everything I could. It is a monumental catastrophe that didn't have to happen. And it has nothing to do with Trump. If they had listened to Trump, none of this would have taken place. None of this would have taken place. They would have had time to get out. They would have had enough time to just leave the country. Embassy, you wouldn't have this. The issue is not the collapse, which unfortunately should be the issue, but it's not. The issue is the way in which we left. That's the problem. Grand Fish, hello, thank you, Go Raiders. Ladies and gentlemen, God bless. To my super chat, thank you. Thanks, everybody. Vintage, Paul, everybody, thank you so very, very much. I'll see you tomorrow, everyone. God bless. To my super chat, thank you. Have a great, great evening. And God bless America, and God bless all the veterans of this country. We can never repay you for everything that you've done to help us, to keep us prosperous, and all the sacrifice you've made. And God bless the people of Afghanistan.